the surface area of a sphere. Does anybody remember what you have to do? So surface area, I'm just going to call it SA, of a sphere is equal to the area of a circle, which is radius squared, times pi times 4. Do you remember doing this yesterday? So the radius squared times pi will tell you the area of a circle, times 4 will tell you the surface area of a sphere. Now, if we look here, what's the radius of this sphere? 4, yeah. So we're going to plug in 4 for where it says r. So 4 squared times pi, but they said to use 3.14. So times 3.14. And then times 4. I don't expect you to do this by hand. I expect you to go to a calculator and type in 4 squared times 3.14. Oh. Times 4. And it's going to give you 200.96. And so you just go back to your Excel, 200.96. As you're doing these, you'll just keep doing it and stuff. Instead of having, we'd plug in 3 for the R, 3.14 for pi, and then times 4 again. But we're going to skip ahead and take a look. What is the radius on this one here? Yeah, it's 3. Remember, radius is half. It's from the center to the edge. This is called the diameter. So radius is half of the diameter. So 3 squared times pi times 4. Now, I'd use the calculator again. Just type that in. And so instead of 4 squared, I want 3 squared times pi times 4. And it says 113.04. Now, there is one thing I want to talk to you about before you go ahead and move on. As you're doing these, you'll start to notice that they're going to change to decimals as you go on in levels. And so when you get a decimal, of course, it would give me none as any of the examples. So let's say it said that the radius was 12, or the diameter was 12.2 instead of 12. How do I figure out what the radius is? If all the way across is 12.2, how would I figure out what the radius is? Yeah, I just want to take this and divide it by 2, and you can just use the calculator to do it. One thing that you do need to be careful is it's going to ask you to round to the nearest hundredth. Just make sure that you know how to round. If you don't, you should probably ask when we're walking around. All right, go ahead and get started. It's IXL V15.